take this one for granted. And there's a lot of people that will say, oh, you don't really need that, it doesn't matter. But fuel injection, I think, is one of those modern bike technologies that I just can't live without, me personally. But it's one of those ones that, man, you don't want to have to sit there and deal with. Oh, the sun is bright, I can't see anything. Oh, that's gotta suck for you guys, huh? But I don't want to sit there and have to mess with having to tune, or not tune, but jet the carbs and blah 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 if I do any type of mods. And then if you leave it sitting there for too long, it'll gunk up the carbs. I don't have to sit, I just want to be able to hop on my bike and ride. I ain't got time to be worrying about no carburetors.
I got bronchitis.
Now, I will admit that I haven't had a bike that's been carbureted, but I've had cars that were carbureted. Another modern bike technology that I can't live without anymore. Now, my first bike neither of my other two bikes that I've had have had ABS. Now, it's one of those things that you don't really need it, but it's nice to have. My first bike, my beginner bike, my little Ninja 650, did not have ABS, and neither did my 2009 R1. And it's one of those things that you don't really need as long as you're careful. But a lot of beginner guys, they're just not careful. You know, man, it goes back to that theory in that video that I talked about. I'll link it somewhere, or just click right here. I practice emergency braking. It's one of the first things I did. I just went into my neighborhood and into a parking lot, and I practiced in there. But I already knew from, you know, my very first car didn't have ABS. So you just pump the brakes, put a little bit more pressure until you come to a complete stop, versus nowadays you can just slam on the brakes and you're good. Nothing, you know. Anyways, I think ABS is very good. Another thing, traction control. One of those things, like I said before, you don't really need, but it's nice to have. I don't think I've ever had to use the traction control on this bike. My 2009 R1 and my Ninja 650 didn't have traction control either. So, you know, this is the traction control right here. You give it more throttle, and you're gonna spin out. Close the throttle, you ain't gonna spin out that rear tire. And so, yeah, my first two bikes didn't have it. There's been some situations where, whoa, I needed it, but you know, like I said, you just watch your throttle hand and you're good. I definitely could have used traction control. I know I was acting stupid. I'll link the video boom right here if you want to see it. That was one of those situations where, yeah, I did need traction control. Next thing, a steering stabilizer. Oh my god, I can't tell you. Oh, I watched Adrian Nickelodeon's video on steering stabilizers, and you know, I've only had a couple of speed wobbles or death wobbles, whatever you want to call them, tank slappers. I've only had a couple of those happen to me. One was on my R1 and one was on this bike, and both times I was like, oh, thank god I had a steering stabilizer. I don't know where this goes. I'm gonna go ahead and go left. I don't know where that goes. I don't think I've ever been straight. So a steering stabilizer comes in really handy. Man, some of the bikes like the R6 is so notorious for tank slappers. Every time I see a video about somebody having a tank slapper, it's like 9 out of 10 times it's an R6. They need to go ahead and just put a steering stabilizer on the R6. I don't know why. Why don't most 600s come with a steering stabilizer? oh man, I don't know, but if I ever got a bike without a steering stabilizer, I would go out and get one. They're not that expensive, $200-300 for something that could potentially save your life. They are great to have. So the next thing I want to talk about is man, I'm having a brain fart. The heated grips. Today it is 58-ish degrees out, and it's a little chilly, and it's one of those, oh, let's go this way. You know, I haven't been down this road in a long time. Again, this is another thing that you don't necessarily need, but when it's nice and cold out, you're glad that you had it. I've only ever had to use it on low power or 50% power. I haven't had to use it in 100%. Sorry guys, that road was complete shit. I shouldn't have went down it. Couldn't even concentrate. Had to worry about running over giant potholes. Anyways, if you just noticed, my turn signal turned off by itself, and I did not even have to touch it. So the next thing I want to talk about is self-canceling turn signals. I didn't know how much I actually needed them until I actually had them. It comes in super handy. You're sitting there after the light that after you make a turn, and you leave them on for the next 5 miles, and people think you're turning left. That's one of the most annoying things about bikes, is you gotta remember to turn it off as soon as you make a turn, and sometimes you just forget, you know. We're all human here. Another thing I want to talk about is the range till empty feature, or the range feature, whatever you want to call it. It is so nice not having to worry about when I'm going to run out of fuel. I can just keep riding. I look down and it says, oh hey, you got 124 more miles to go, versus having to look down at a gas gauge that might say, oh, you got a bar left. Well, what's a bar mean? What does 2 bar mean? Or maybe you don't even have that. Maybe your bike just comes with a dummy light, and then most of those lights come on when you've got like 30 miles to go, 30 to 50, I don't know. And then by then it might be too late. You might need to get gas, and you've probably already passed the gas station. Another thing that I never thought that was life-changing, or I couldn't live without, is the gear indicator. One of the smallest things ever, but it does so much. Oh, I love a gear indicator. Not having to sit there and guess, it's just another thing, man. You don't, if it does its job so well, you forget that it's even there. So you just look down, boom, all right, 3rd gear, cool. Hey, you want to race with your buddy? Yeah, let me just switch through the gears a bunch of times to find what gear I'm in. No, that's annoying. I want to be able to look down, see what gear I'm in, see what gear's coming up next, whether I got to go up or down. Look at that, I know I'm in 1st gear. I don't know, a lot of guys can just sit there and be like, oh, I know what gear I'm in at all times, but sometimes you're riding for a while and you forget, or there's traffic and you forget. So it's nice to be able to look down and, oh, well, I'm in 5th gear. Okay. Oh, I'm in 3rd gear. I need to be in neutral because the stoplight's coming up. That right there, oh my goodness. I love my auto blipper and my quick shifter. I will never go back to another bike that doesn't have at least a quick shifter. Quick shifters are so much fun. Oh, they make everything so much. Yeah, they might make you a little bit lazy, but it makes life a lot easier. I don't feel like reaching for the clutch, blah blah blah. Boom. Oh, don't have to rev match because the auto blipper does it for you. Only time you need the clutch is for first gear taking off and going into neutral. I wouldn't suggest slapping it down into into neutral with the quick shifter. And my most favorite thing ever, the cruise control. Oh my god, the cruise control is life-changing. If your bike doesn't have cruise control, I feel sorry for you, man. I really do. I like, oh, it's amazing. I like being able to be on the highway for hours and then whoop, flip that switch. Flip that switch and then bam, cruise control. I can let go of the throttle and continue on my very own speed. Look at that, 50 miles an hour. Ugh. Oh, my hand, oh, it's hurting. Let me just go ahead and stretch it for a little bit, give it a break. That's so nice. And a lot of people will be like, oh, cruise control is kind of sketchy. I don't trust it. Well, why? Look, there's so many different ways to cancel it. You can reach for the cancel switch, turn it off, pull in the clutch. You can downshift, you can upshift, you can tap either one of the brakes, or you can roll the throttle forward a little bit and it'll cancel it. Cruise control is awesome. If your bike comes with cruise control, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, this guy wants to race. What do you say, boy? Should I give it to him? Ah, he don't want it. Alright, so the bonus things. Well, some bikes come with keyless entry, and I think that's so dope. I wish my bike came with keyless entry. But unfortunately it did not. Boom, right back into cruise control. So yeah, if your bike comes with keyless entry, I hate you because my bike does not have it, and that's got to make everything so much easier, because I know it is in a car. Just walk up to your bike, boom, get on it, go. You don't have to look for keys, mess with keys, putting in a key, get off your bike and forget your key. The key's with you as long as you keep it in your pocket. And that's what I would do if I had that. The next thing I want to talk about isn't really about bikes, more bike or like rider technology, like the Bluetooth communicators. Oh man, that thing is life-changing. And so it's in the bonus round because it's not actually like bike stuff, it's rider technology. But if you haven't ridden with Bluetooth and haven't, you don't ride with your music on or being able to listen to your GPS, oh, you're missing out. I see a lot of bikes come with phone chargers. My bike did not come with a phone charger. I had to put one on here. So it's nice to be able to put my GPS on and go for a long ride and not worry about my phone dying. Another thing that I wish my bike had, that I don't know why they don't put them in bikes. Like it's not like it's hard to do, or like they add a bunch of weight. Tire pressure monitors. Every car nowadays since like 2008 has had tire pressure monitors, and I just think that's the sickest thing ever. I like being able to look down and see my tire pressure. So tire pressure monitors are awesome. I wish the bikes, I know they make some aftermarket ones, or but they're like little caps. They don't actually go inside, so they don't come inside the tires. I'm sure you could get some put inside. I'm thinking about buying one of those little tire pressure monitors, but I'm kind of sketchy about it since it's on the outside and it goes on your valve stem. So I'm not too sure about getting that. But it would be nice to look down, see my tire pressure, see if I'm losing air, see how hot my tires are. I'm gonna have to add some of that, one of those. Well, that's about it for this video, guys. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know what some of your let me know what some of your favorite modern bike technologies are. Let me know if you thought this was fucking stupid or if I should go kill myself.